I would never be where I was without YouTube. And not only that, this movie is what it is because of YouTube. This movie started because of watching videos of kids with 10, 20, 30 subscribers online talking about themselves. Like, YouTube to me is the greatest resource for humanity. We wanted to make a movie about kids that don't go viral. That the majority of people posting stuff on the internet are not being seen. And they are also interesting and worthy.
In a weird way, Bo Burnham's most recent special, Inside, could be seen as a sort of absurd spiritual sequel to his directorial debut, 8th Grade. In 8th Grade, you have a person seeking validation and self-worth through the internet, but never getting it, and in Inside, we see someone who has achieved incredible success and popularity through the internet, but is now living in an isolated world where all of that validation is stripped away. Taken together, the films highlight the double nature of the internet. For people looking to share their voice with the world, there's hardly a better way than through the internet. But with billions of other voices all shouting over each other, the internet can be the most dangerous and unhealthy place to be yourself.
Okay, so first things first is, I haven't been getting like a lot of views or whatever on my videos, so if you guys could share, like with your friends and stuff, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, so the topic of today's video is being yourself. And it's like, you know, well, aren't I always being myself? And like, yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm reading these off paper. Okay.
In 8th grade, we follow Kayla, a young teen who is approaching the end of middle school. We see her upload YouTube videos where she provides advice and encouragement to a practically non-existent audience. We then follow her day to day as she attempts to practice what she preaches. She makes an effort to be herself and step outside her comfort zone, and sometimes we see her succeed, but more often we see her struggle with insecurities, awkwardness, and straight-up fear. Something as simple as showing up for a pool party, or even making a phone call, trigger her anxiety, and it takes everything she has to keep it from paralyzing her. Throughout the movie, we see how Kayla's insecurities are affirmed by the internet. It reminds her of her loneliness and gives her an endless stream of faces and bodies to compare to her own. But at other times, the internet is the one refuge she has to express herself. She has a platform to share her voice, even if there's no one listening on the other end. The internet isn't the villain of 8th grade. It's not the root cause of Kayla's struggles. She's experiencing the same social pressures and frustrations that teens have always faced. But we see how those struggles are complicated by the internet. Kayla feels the constant pressure to present a version of herself on the internet that is impressive, or at least acceptable, regardless of the fact that this version is false. But presenting yourself on the internet as honestly as possible has risks of its own, which is what we see in Inside. Burnham consistently criticizes his own self-awareness in his comedy, and in sharing his own struggles with depression and even vanity, he's opening himself up to ridicule not only of his performance, but of his very being. And I think that's where both Inside and 8th grade succeed. They take something as complex and far-reaching as the internet, and contextualize it in a very personal way. They both reveal how the internet is little more than a tangled web of lonely people like Bo and Kayla who are either trying desperately to be heard or grappling with silence.